Rich countries are getting vaccinated and poor countries are left with nothing. The global race for purchasing a vaccine for the coronavirus raises fear that the manufacturers will not be able to meet the demand in a world where there are almost 8 billion people, and this really worries the poor countries and health organizations. There's danger that the race for the vaccine will raise the price of the vaccine itself. How do you see this? We've built a society where the strong succeed. Israel had the money and the brains, and so they bought these vaccines. And even though the vaccines are almost finished, so I've heard, but still, most of the population, or at least half of it, were vaccinated. I'm happy about it. Just wait and see. See what? What will the rest of the world say? That out of the billions of people in the world, it's again the Jews that steal and thrive and live off everyone, that they vaccinated themselves and care about nothing else. There is already such talk, but looking from a broader perspective, if I live in a country that, like you said, has the money and the brains, and it got vaccines for its citizens, and Brazil, for example, where the corona had a very strong impact, but they don't have enough vaccines, and I'm not against Brazil having vaccines, but if it's us or Brazil, I choose us. It's natural, you're right. But a Brazilian, looking from his perspective at the world and at you, then he sees that there's a country here that made sure that all of its citizens get vaccinated, and they're all really like this white stain on the background of this suffering planet. I understand him. I understand his pain. So how is he supposed to look at you? I suppose that he's envious of me. Of course, up to the point of hating you. Should that affect me? No, but it's a fact. Right, but if I look at it from a broader perspective, this plague, it didn't come from my neighboring town, but it came from China. So from a global perspective, if we don't wipe out the pandemic in some place in the world, it'll find its way back. So we're tangled up. The plague will come back one way or another, and its different variations, and we'll have to deal with it until we will understand that the remedy for everything, all in all, is the good and close relationships between people. And the race for a vaccine between the rich and poor countries, what should that be like? Let's get into a race where we compete about how can we help each other. But if there's not enough right now, let's make it so that there will be as much as possible. What does it depend on? It depends on the measure of our closeness, on the measure to which we understand that we're all on this one small planet and we're all interdependent. This pandemic says that you're treating each other wrong, that the entire planet is suffering because of people, that in terms of their development, they're on the highest level. But it's an egoistic development, a bad development. And eventually you have to understand that you have to change yourselves in the direction of friendship, connection, and so on. And if not, then the pandemic will come back a second time, and it will be completely different. That's frightening. No, until it will teach us how we're supposed to be.